Chineke na nke pụrụ ihe niile. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-azọpụta. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen. Anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na n'ụtụtụ na-eja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise, ise, ise.
Not just the autopilot, the truth and nothing but the truth. We cannot follow anybody that is a liar. We are standing on our own. Everybody, every single Biafran is speaking in his or her own voice, standing on their own, participating in a massive civil disobedience to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Let me tell you, if you are dependent on lawyers alone cannot free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It doesn't matter how you try. Lawyers alone cannot free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The only thing that can free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is civil disobedience. What you are doing, what I am doing, whatever we will do to make sure that the Janjaweed will see that holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in captivity is very expensive. That is when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be out. It is not about lawyers. It is not about your pretense. It's not about whatever you're saying. The only genuine thing that will free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is what you are doing as a Biafran. What I am doing as a Biafran. That is what will free him. It's not just the lawyers. Even the political, whatever they call, the political solution they're talking about. The only thing that will make the political solution to have effect is what you will do, what I will do. That is why I am coming online on a daily basis to encourage my fellow Biafrans. Encourage Biafrans to continue to stand on the truth. Continue to do the needful. That thing you know that it is right thing to do. Do it. Do it. You have to follow. Here, listen to your inner mind. Chukwu Okike Abiama is speaking to every single Biafran, and that is the autopilot you're hearing. When you see Osinachi come here every time to talk about autopilot, the people who are being controlled by the autopilot are people who have their ears open, trying to listen to what Chukwu Okike Abiama have to tell them, not what anybody has to tell them. People who are listening to what Chukwu Okike Abiama will tell them. People who are listening to what message Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has for us. Those are the people. Those are the people who are taking action, and they are working on daily basis, trying to see that things work. They are the people you are referring to as members of autopilot. If you are one of those who Chukwu Okike Abiama is speaking to, and you are not listening, you are wasting your own time and wasting your own life. You must have to open your own ears and listen to your inner voice. There are some voice that will be speaking to you at every given time on what to do and what to say. There is a voice, a conscience in you that tells you when somebody is telling the truth. If you don't lie to yourself, you will know truth when the truth comes. And the truth is not hidden. When we talk about truth, truth is not hidden. It is so easy and so simple to dictate. Truth, so easy and simple to dictate. Mainly in the struggle for Biafra. In this very struggle for Biafra, the truth is very open and very plain, but some people decide to follow a different path, pursue a different path for their own selfish interest, for their own wickedness, because of the evil in their heart. It is not because they don't know the truth, they know the truth. The truth is not hard, it's not far-fetched, it's not far-fetched. Including all the propaganda they are pushing against fellow Biafrans and fellow people who are struggling. The truth is not far-fetched. The truth is there. And I will advise everybody, as we are preparing to walk into 2022, prepare yourself for you to embrace the truth. If you don't embrace the truth, you might not see the end of 2022. But if you embrace the truth and continue to speak the truth, you will live ahead of 2022. You will live and see the end of the 2022. 2022 will not see your end. That is for sure. We will not like to continue to have any distraction in any angle, in any manner. There will be no distraction. I am not distracted. I don't want you to be distracted. Today, we are going to open up some things that people have been saying for a very long time. Every propaganda, blackmail against IPOB, blackmail against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, blackmail against Biafra, blackmail against ESN. Today, that blackmail has been torn into pieces. It has been torn into pieces. I tell you every time I come to this program that the government of Nigeria has no case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. There is no single case against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, no. You see them when they come to their conventional media. Some of them will accuse Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of killing police. Some of them will accuse Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of killing chief. They accuse Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of killing Biafrans. Different kinds of accusation. They accuse ESN of killing innocent people. killing police. All this is accusations, blackmails. Accusation upon accusation, blackmails with no single evidence. We have been speaking about it. When they started the issue of unknown gunmen the first time, they were talking about unknown gunmen. We came out on broadcast and said that unknown gunmen, we don't know them. They are not part of us. Our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came in on his broadcast. He said that we do not know the unknown gunmen. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said, I do not have power over the unknown gunmen. I don't even know them. I don't communicate with them. I don't have anything to do with unknown gunmen. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it on his broadcast. He said it. He made it clear to the whole world. But unfortunately, some people are deaf and dumb because of their wickedness and evil act. Because of the wickedness of the politicians and the wickedness of some people who are evil, who are devil incarnate. After Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said that in an open broadcast, that the whole world was listening, that he doesn't know the unknown government. Still, they continue to blackmail IPOB with unknown government. They continue to blackmail ESN with unknown government. They continue to blackmail Mazi Nnamdi Kanu with unknown government. Even the evidence they are using against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu today in their court of killing police or whatever, the evidence they have concocted by themselves is through their so-called unknown government. Even when they know that unknown government, they are never anywhere called ESN. They are not ESN. ESN has nothing to do with them. IPOB has nothing to do with them. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it on his broadcast that he has nothing to do with the unknown government. He doesn't know them. Even when they were actually, Chukwu Okike Abiama were using them to fight against those who are fighting against us. Chukwu Okike Abiama were using them to destroy the evil people. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, pray for them, go ahead. Chukwu Okike Abiama was using them to destroy themselves. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it. He didn't institutionalize anything that called unknown government. He is not their leader. He never formed them. He doesn't know them. But they begin to push this agenda. They use their conventional media in Nigeria. Conventional media in Nigeria help to push this propaganda of unknown government. Everywhere you go, you see unknown government. They say IPOB. Even the last video I played, the Fulani man that was speaking. You see a Fulani man who was speaking on my last program. He was saying that the IPOB members, that they are causing trouble in the southeast part of Nigeria. They are doing sit at home. In sit at home, they kill people. They kill police. They kill this. They are unknown government. When they know that unknown government are not members of IPOB. Even Chukwu Okike Abiama used the imposter in Imo State, the devil in Imo State himself. Chukwu Okike Abiama used the devil himself to confess and say that ESN are not unknown government. When unknown government went to break prison, people begin to, their federal government came out without even any verification. Without any investigation, the federal government and the police came out and said, it's unknown government, it's ESN, it's IPOB, ESN. But Chukwu Okike Abiama used their member, Hope Uzodinma, to come and vindicate ESN and IPOB. Vindicate Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that they were not involved in the breaking of the prison. They were not involved anywhere in the breaking of the prison in Imo State. They were not anywhere. Hope Uzodinma himself said it that even in that very place, that most of them were not even speaking, they don't even speak Igbo. They are foreigners. But after seeing all this and knowing all these things, still yet, the conventional media continue to push the narrative of unknown government being ESN. Any place you see them talking about ESN killing people, IPOB killing people, they are talking about unknown government. When they fully know that these unknown government are have nothing to do with ESN. We have nothing like unknown government. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a brave and bold man. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never deny everything he does. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu never deny, even before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu do something, he will tell you. Before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will do something, he will first of all tell you, and then he go ahead and do it. That is who he is. He's not a coward. If he do something, he will take responsibility. He took responsibility of ESN. And when ESN went on the operation in the bushes, you see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came out to talk about it. When ESN took away the terrorists in Benue State, the terrorist that was killing our Biafran people in Benue State, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu used ESN to take him out, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu came out and claimed responsibility. He did it. He took out the terrorists. He never denied whatever he does. He never denied. But the conventional media, they begin to push their propaganda using lies against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, against IPOB, against ESN on daily basis. But thank God, finally, the long-awaited unknown government, The long-awaited unknown government that have refused to speak and tell us who they are. Today, the unknown government have been unveiled. Today, as you are speaking, as you are watching this video, unknown government have been unveiled by these politicians themselves, by the evil men, by those people who are forming the unknown government, who are sponsoring those evil. They have come finally to confess. Chukwu Okike Abiama is great. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not just an ordinary leader, he is a spiritual leader. And everything Mazi Nnamdi Kanu does is perfect. Is, if not perfect, near perfect. Everything that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu does, if not perfect, near perfect. Because he is not acting on his own. Before he does everything, even on his broadcast, he will pray to Chukwu Okike Abiama. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said it several times that he does not worship idol. He doesn't want idol. He is worshiping the creator of heaven and earth, Chukwu Okike Abiama, the living God. Chukwu Okike, God of creation. That is whom he worships. He doesn't worship idol. And that is why everything he says comes to pass. Everything he says comes to pass. With all the plan they are making, finally, you know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave us a prayer, 150 days prayer, to prepare us for what is happening today. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu gave us 150 days prayer to prepare us for what you are seeing today. So many of you did not engage in that prayer. Some people call this a joke. Some call this jamboree. Some didn't participate. Even people who were members of those who call themselves leadership, those who are among the leadership in IPOB, they didn't participate. Because if they were participating in that very 150 days prayer, they will not be gossiping. They will not be lying against their own brother. Even while that fasting was going on, a lot of lies were flying everywhere. Blackmail from east, west, and north, not and south. While we are fasting for 150 days. But thank Chukwu Okike Abiama, for those of us who were able to observe that 150 days, sincerely, we saw the result. And the result is still calling up to today. Up to today, you are still seeing the result. Today, the revelation of the unknown government, the unfolding of the unknown government is what we are going to discuss. It is no longer something you have to be afraid of. For some people, that is why we are saying there are people who claim to be close to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who are in leadership today. They don't know Mazi Nnamdi Kanu 1 inch. They are not spiritual. They are not sincere. Lies have occupied their head. That is why they can't think right. These are the people who are telling you they will call you terrorists. They don't do this, they call it terrorists. Protest for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They don't want us to protest. They say they will call us terrorists. Embark on civil disobedience to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They said no, and they will call us terrorists. When they know fully well that Chukwu Okike Abiama have positioned everything right through Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that the whole world knows the truth, and the truth cannot be covered. It doesn't matter how they try. They can't cover the truth. Today, you can see everything that we are saying have come to bear. That prayer that we have made with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is now working. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a very spiritual man. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu pray for the Biafra struggle 7 good times every day. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu pray 7 times every day. You that is watching me as a Biafra, you that is watching me, Biafran friend, how many times do you pray for your nation? How many times do you pray for your leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? How many times do you remember Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in your prayers? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu pray for Biafra 7 good times every single day, including now that he's in detention. He's praying more, much more. And his prayer, you can see it working. Today, the unknown gunmen have been exposed and unraveled. It is no longer a mystery. It is no longer a mystery. You see how Chukwu Okike Abiama is destroying every of their evidence and every of their plan against Mazi. That is why they are even scared to come to court to face him. Today, I'm going to share with you a video of a confession of the politician, Rochas Okorocha himself, who is one of the devil in that very country called Nigeria. Rochas Okorocha. Every one of you know Rochas Okorocha, former governor of Imo State. Former governor of Imo State, who is now preparing himself to come as a president of Nigeria. Who is preparing himself to campaign for presidency. Rochas Okorocha finally has come to confess and tell us whom the unknown gunmen are. It is no longer a mystery. I'm going to play the video with you. We are going to follow the video gradually, one by one. Let us dissect that video. For a very long time, we have been saying that unknown gunmen are not members of IPOB. They are not ESN. Neither do they have anything to do with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But some people choose to believe otherwise. Today, I am going to play the video. We will follow the video gradually, one after the other, for you to see that the unknown gunmen they are talking about is the makeup of the politicians in the country of Nigeria. And they have to sort themselves out. They have been using the name of IPOB, using the name of unknown ESN and the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to perpetrate their own evil, to support their evil deed against their own people. Today we will expose them. Please share this video. Share this video to all platforms. Share it to family and friends. Everybody should share this video. Share it because this is very important for the people to see and hear. The world have to see what is happening. The conventional media will not do what we are doing. They won't. Conventional media will not expose this evil the way we are exposing it. That is why you have to share it on social media. Social media is very powerful. Social media is powerful. It is the reason why we are still alive today in that country called Nigeria. Social media. Social media is the reason why we have the country called Nigeria has not been taken over. It is because of social media that Nigeria has not been taken over yet by the Fulani Janjaweed. Do you know their mission? Their mission is to take over Nigeria and dip their Korea into the Atlantic Ocean. Take over the whole land. That is the mission of the Janjaweed, the common enemy. Don't be distracted. Don't be distracted. In as much as they have their agents in the southwest, they have their agent in the southeast, they have their agent in the middle belt, they have their agent in every tribe, in every religion. The Fulani Janjaweed are the common enemy. And until we take them out, the problem will continue. Let us share the video. I am going to play the video by Rochas Okorocha, the interview that was granted to Rochas Okorocha in Channels Television, and what he had to say. That will show you and tell you who the unknown gunmen really are and how far they have gone and when they have been coming, where they have been coming from and what they have done. Let us listen to this video on the interview that was granted to Rochas Okorocha. Then we can now continue from there. Let's watch. Watch carefully from beginning to end.
Even the issue, I think the church will address that. But my concern, there's something that has to be unraveled. And I'm sure you must have been hearing about unknown gunmen in Imo State. This is where the story of unknown gunmen started. And most people have been wondering the mystery behind unknown gunmen. But it appears, though, to me now, that unknown gunmen has finally been unraveled with the recent happenings. And what is the unknown gunmen from what happened to Uchenwosu? Unknown gunmen now was a set of policemen from government house who, without the consent of the commissioner of police, without the consent of the federal police, without the consent of the DIGs and the charge, nobody on their own, from the instruction of the government of the Imo State led by Hope Uzodinma and the CSO Shaba, that gives directives to go and arrest people at will and lock them up at will, and sometimes what about these people are not. So gradually something is becoming to unravel, and that is the good news about this. And to shock you, and to shock the whole world, is that this same Shaba and his governor are in the business of.
I hope you heard him and heard him clear. I hope you heard Rochas Okorocha and heard him clear that the unknown gunmen are a group of policemen from the government house in Imo State who are coming to the town to assassinate people and kill people indiscriminately. He even called the name of the leader, Shaba. The unknown gunmen, they have all been people who are policemen who are being shifted from the state house, from the governor's lodge in Imo State, to go out and perpetrate evil and kill innocent people. Are you still asking the question? Are you still asking? Let us watch from beginning to end. Let us play the video again. Listen carefully how he explained who the unknown gunmen are.
Even the issue, I think the church will address that. But my concern, there's something that has to be unraveled. And I'm sure you must have been hearing about unknown gunmen in Imo State. This is where the story of unknown gunmen started. And most people have been wondering the mystery behind unknown gunmen. But it appears, though, to me now, that unknown gunmen has finally been unraveled with the recent happenings. And what is the unknown gunmen from what happened to Uchenwosu? Unknown gunmen now was a set of policemen from government house who, without the consent of the commissioner of police, without the consent of the federal police, without the consent of the DIGs and the charge, nobody on their own, from the instruction of the government of the Imo State led by Hope Uzodinma and the CSO Shaba that gives directives to go and arrest people at will and lock them up at will. And sometimes, what about these people are not? So gradually something is becoming to unravel. And that is the good news about this. And to shock you, and to shock the whole world, is that this same Shaba and his governor are in the business of, getting policemen from government house to go and execute an unholy act. And when they run into trouble, they quickly say it is police. So right now, they have carefully put the image of the police and federal government of Nigeria at stake as to prove to themselves why the police should send people to go to church to arrest somebody, and which is now not IG definitely. But now, when the governor does that, when he gets into trouble, he said the police. That's the situation we find. So the unknown government now is getting to be clear. And what might surprise you is that the killing of Gulag will soon be unraveled by what has happened recently. And the 150 people that are left unaccounted for bodies at the Federal Medical Center in Owerri will also be unraveled, because till now there have been a lot of cover-up in Imo State where nobody seems to know what is happening. People are dead. Nobody's coming to claim them. And if you claim them, they are shot, they are killed. So a lot of things are going to be unraveled. I think the mystery is because the war was taken because of that.
Right.
So asking me, what would the Imo people, how does the Imo people feel? Imo people are still in fear, and there's need to assuage their fear seriously, and it will take the intervention of the federal government of Nigeria.
Right. So we'll still try to unpack that side of the conversation, but still.
You had him right. It is no longer something, it is no longer a propaganda or maybe a framework or maybe a blackmail that we have been saying. From the beginning, we have been saying that unknown gunmen has nothing to do with ESN. Today, you have had it. Even Roger Sokorocha himself, who is a criminal, is trying to cover up. He's still covering up, trying to be politically correct, telling us that the IG or IG, Inspector General of Police, is not aware. Inspector General of Police is aware of the unknown gunmen. He is very much aware. The police commissioner in Imo State is very much aware. They only use police to cover up. Each time they went and perpetrated a crime, if people capture them with camera or people happen to see them, they will now cover up with the police. They will tell you that police went for an operation. This is what they have been doing. Federal government have been doing this on different angles, on different platforms. They have been doing it. They have been doing it, and this is what is going on. It has been going on for a very long time and still going on as I'm speaking. The unknown gunmen that have been heard about, they are members of the police. They are DSS members. You saw the one that was captured, the one that was shot last time. An ID card was found in him, which was ID card of DSS, and they denied it. They came out and they were denying it. Today you can see Rocha Sokorocha, who was the former governor, is now confessing, telling us that the unknown gunmen, the real unknown gunmen you are talking about, they are policemen. He is trying to be politically correct by telling us that the IG is not aware, Commissioner of Police is not aware, that they want to go from the state house to go and perpetrate the evil, and later on they go and cover with police. How can you cover up for an evil that you're not aware of? Why will you be covering for an evil if you are not part of it? The unknown gunmen that you are hearing about, who are killing people in this, kidnapping people who are perpetrating the kidnapping in the state, are police officers. They are police officers sponsored by the federal government of Nigeria and Imo State government. They are the one killing people. They have been killing in all faces, in all angles. It is no longer a propaganda. It has now become much more clearer than ever. When we were saying it on social media, people said it's a social media ranting. Some of them say we are doing cover-up. Today, we have been vindicated. Our Supreme Leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been vindicated once again. IPOB has been vindicated. ESN have been vindicated once again. We have been shouting and saying that ESN has nothing to do with the cities. They are not have any operation in the city. They are only working in the bushes, fighting against the terrorists. They are not fighting against innocent citizens. Including, they are not even fighting against the innocent Fulanis, innocent Hausa. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter their tribe. So long you are doing a legitimate business in the city, ESN has nothing to do with you. So long you are doing a legitimate business in our city, ESN doesn't have anything to do with you. They are only fighting against terrorists. That has been their duty, and they have never relented in their effort. We have been shouting, but people fail to understand. Until now, the confession has started. You see a pure confession by a former state governor telling us what has happened in that country called Nigeria and what is happening. Even as I'm speaking to you now, use your brain and count. Use your tongue and count your teeth. When he is telling you that IG is not aware, Commission, IG and the Commissioner of Police are very much aware of the operation of the unknown gunmen in Imo State and in every other part of Biafra land. The same thing they did in Anambra State during the election time, killing people indiscriminately. You see him mention the death of Gulag. The death of Gulag that they blamed on IPOB. The death of Gulag that they blamed on ESN. You can see him confessing. You can see him confessing. More truth are coming. Let us watch more. Another part of that interview. For us to know more, you will see the revelations that we have been waiting for. Chukwu Gabiam have put word into their mouth to begin to vomit. The criminals indicting themselves. Let us watch this part again.
The governor assumed the position of the Inspector General of Police by giving directive to police officer under him to go and commit an act. I have not answered. Nobody has answered the question. Why should the governor become the chief judge of the state or the judge to issue arrest warrant from government house? Why should governor go to church, ask him to go to church and arrest somebody and bring the person to government house and take him take him to Enugu and charter a private jet? Why should the government charter a private jet to take somebody as arrested to take him to Abuja? And what is it really? And I can understand. Because if you had listened to Uche Nwosu, this phone call this evening would have been a condolence message. God forbid. But oh, sorry, such as will out of what happened to Anwar. God forbid. I reject that in Jesus' name. Because when this young man took him out and took him to Njaba Bridge, they first of all brought him out and cocked their gun to shoot him. And they were, what saved Uche Nwosu was social media. That said, oh, this has come to social media, and they became a bit scared and communicated back to Sharp, not knowing that Uche Nwosu hears outside very well. Then when they went to government house and the vehicles done, they left him with only one car driving to Enugu. In Okigwe, a road to Enugu, they also spoke in Hausa saying, can we now shoot his leg or shoot his hand to us? In the process of running, let's finish him and go. The same policeman. When they said that they asked me in Hausa, why do you want to kill him? What have I done? The people were shocked. Do you speak Hausa? That's how they took him and put him on the face mask with face cap so nobody can disguise him and carry him like a criminal into a private jet to Abuja. But I'm sure, 100% sure that IG from my communication with him never knew of all these things. And I'm patiently waiting for what police will say on this particular matter.
Now, on that point, Your Excellency.
So what I'm saying...
You can land on that.
You heard him well. I hope you heard him. When we are talking about the power of social media, sometimes people do not believe what we are saying. This is why you have to share videos. When we are making our exposition, share the video to all platforms, share it to your family and friends, and encourage them to share also. People should watch and share. You heard him talking about the social media, that it was the social media that saved his in-law, Uche Nwosu, that we almost killed. When we are telling you about the power of social media is the greatest weapon you can think of in the planet Earth now. How many people are watching their conventional media? How many people? Social media is the greatest weapon. That is why you see Lion Mohammed crying about social media. Lion Mohammed trying to shut down the social media. There is key points you got to be getting when you are listening to these people. You saw him praising social media. He is praising social media because now social media has favored him. It has secured the life of his own brother. He praised social media. But these are the people who are lining up with Lion Mohammed. This very Rocha Sokorocha is part of the government of Lion Mohammed that are speaking against social media, trying to block the social media so that people cannot be able to speak up. Today, he has realized that social media is powerful. Social media saved Uche Nwosu. It was because people captured what was happening in camera. They captured even the plate number of the vehicle that came to operation. They identified those people as people who come from the state house, and they shared the video, and the video went viral. And whilst the video was going viral, people got away, and the police got involved and knew that people have known what is happening, and people have identified their unknown gunmen. Because they have been identified, the police came now and take responsibility. They took them to the IG of police. The same IG of police that Rocha Sokorocha is telling you that he's not aware. The same IG of police that Rocha Sokorocha is telling you that, the same Inspector General of Police that Rocha Sokorocha is telling you that he's not aware. The same Commissioner of Police that Rocha Sokorocha is saying that he's not aware came now and took responsibility. After social media have exposed the evil, the non-government. After social media have exposed the non-government. And do you realize one thing again? Did you hear him what he was saying? That one of the security men there was speaking Hausa. They were speaking in Hausa. The security people who came to kidnap Uche Nwosu, they were speaking in Hausa that they should shoot him and throw him away. That should they kill him or should they break his hand? They were speaking in Hausa. Then Uche Nwosu himself responded to them in Hausa because he understands Hausa language. He responded to them in Hausa. When they saw that he now responded in Hausa, he heard what they were saying. What they do, they would took out his clothes, they take his pictures and give him a face cap and begin to take his video and send back to the State House. Did you hear them? They were speaking Hausa. They were not speaking Igbo. Just like when Uzodinma came out and told you that people who came to break prison, the people who came to break prison in Igbo State, that most of them don't speak English. Most of them are not Biafrans. When we are saying that the unknown gunmen you are seeing are members of terrorist group, Fulani Janjaweed have been sent to the southern part of Nigeria to perpetrate evil. And Hope Uzodinma have gone to Asoro to sign these monsters. These members of Boko Haram that have been recruited into military, into the police, they are the people that Hope Uzodinma is using to keep Biafrans in Biafra land. You can hear the testimony that they were speaking in Hausa. After the information have come, they were speaking in Hausa. Social media have already exposed everything. They begin to speak in Hausa. Should we kill him? Or should we break his hand? Or should we dump him on the road? Speaking in Hausa. What does that tell you? The people who are perpetrating this so-called evil of unknown government, they are not just unknown government, they are members of police force, and most of them are not even Biafrans. They are not Biafrans. They are not Biafrans. Fulanis, mainly, they are the people they are using, and some few of them who are part of Biafrans. But majority, people who are doing the killing, they are using the kill Biafran, are not Biafrans. This is the truth and nothing but the truth. You hear it once again. Listen carefully. Hear it once again from Rocha Sokorocha.
When you were governor, and
or who are the people that actually conducted this? Or who are the people that actually conducted this arrest? But all that we have found out later from submissions and from the people that came were people from the government house, accompanied by a military vehicle that is also always in the convoy of the governor. It's a popular military vehicle that's always in the convoy of the governor. That's the one that accompanied the governor assumed the position of the Inspector General of Police by giving directive to police officer under him to go and commit an act. I've not answered. Nobody has answered the question. Why should the governor become the chief judge of the state or the judge to issue arrest warrant from government house? Why should governor go to church, ask him to go to church and arrest somebody and bring the person to government house and take him to Enugu and charter a private jet? Why should the governor charter a private jet to take somebody as arrested to take him to Abuja? And what is it really? And I can understand. Because if you had listened to Uche Nwosu, this phone call this evening would have been a condolence message. God forbid. But oh, sorry, such as we learned of what happened to her in-law. God forbid. I reject that in Jesus' name. Because when these young men took him out and took him to Njaba Bridge, they first of all brought him out and cocked their gun to shoot him. And they were, what saved Uche Nwosu was social media. That said, oh, this has come to social media, and they became a bit scared and communicated back to Sharp, not knowing that Uche Nwosu hears outside very well. Then when they went to government house and the vehicles turned, they left him with only one car driving to Enugu. In Okigwe, a road to Enugu, they also spoke in Hausa, saying, can we now shoot his leg or shoot his hand? Was in the process of running, let's finish him and go. The same policeman. When they said that, they asked me in Hausa, Why do you want to kill him? What have I done? The people were shocked. Do you speak Hausa? That's how they took him and put him on the first mask with first cap so nobody can disguise him and carry him like a criminal into a private jet to Abuja. But I'm sure, 100% sure that IG from my communication with him never knew of all these things. And I'm patiently waiting for what police will say on this particular matter.
Now, on that point, Your Excellency.
So what I'm saying...
You can land on that.
Come again?
You see the kind of evil that is happening in the country of Nigeria. You see the kind of evil. Somebody was kidnapped and they flew him with a private jet to Abuja. They kidnapped the Uchemosu and flew him with private jet to Abuja. Yet, they are saying that the IG of police do not know about it. IG of police do not know about these people. Yet, they flew Uchemosu from Imo State to Abuja with a private jet. The same way they abducted our student Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya. This is what the government of Nigeria is doing, the Janjaweed is doing. This is a footprint of the Janjaweed action. Hope Uzodinma is playing a full script of the Janjaweed. The same way Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was abducted in Kenya, tortured for 8 days. After good 8 days of torture, they couldn't able to kill him through the grace of Chukwu Kabiama. They sent a private jet to go and take Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and transfer him to Nigeria through extraordinary rendition without any proper procedure. This is what the same thing they did. Kidnapped Uchemosu with a private jet to fly him to Abuja instantly to Abuja. And this is a country some people will hit their chest and say, I'm a one Nigerian. I'm a Nigerian. I'm protecting Nigeria. I want us to be Nigeria. Stop talking about division. Stop talking about breakup. If you are not talking about breakup, you are a monster. If you are part of that country called Nigeria, if you are an indigenous person in the country called Nigeria and you are not thinking towards a breakup, you are a monster. And your brain is not complete. A country that is very lawless, a lawless country that the government is only after killing its own people. The government will only empower murderers. Look at Hope Uzodinma, a murderer, a broad daylight murderer. It has been exposed. Hope Uzodinma have murdered so many people, so many good people that Hope Uzodinma have murdered. He have killed so much that even a Catholic priest in Imo State were crying that the mortuary in Imo State is filled up. Mortuary in Imo State is filled up with the corpse that people don't know who own the corpse. Mortuary was filled to the top that people were crying. They don't know where the corpse is coming from. Hope Uzodinma have murdered. Look at this recent kidnapping issue that they are treating. Today, you go to the conventional media, they are talking about kidnapping in Imo State, cannibals in Imo State, kidnapping in Imo State. That very hole they showed us where they are throwing human beings. It was built by Hope Uzodinma. Those are the group of Hope Uzodinma. Unknown gunmen of the federal government of Nigeria, they are the people who perpetrate evil. All those holes you saw the dog, they were telling us that kidnappers are throwing dead bodies. These are the places they are throwing our innocent people that they have killed. This is what they have been doing in Imo State. This is the evil that Hope Uzodinma and co have been perpetrating in Imo State. We will go further. You see more revelations. Let's not go further and listen further. More revelations on the evil that Hope Uzodinma and the federal government of Nigeria are performing against the Biafrans in Biafra land. Using Biafran people, Hope Uzodinma in particular. Let us watch further.
Or who are the people that actually conducted this arrest? But all that we have found out later from submissions and from the people that came were people from the government house, accompanied by a military vehicle that is also always in the convoy of the governor. It's a popular military vehicle that's always in the convoy of the governor. That's the one that accompanied these people. And when they took Uche, at the government round the half, these vehicles went back to the government house and left him with the black Jeep, either it is Ford or Q7, I don't know what it is, that took him straight to Enugu alone with 4 policemen inside. And you could see why they were inside. They undressed, they removed the many torn part of his clothes, took picture of him inside the car and sent back to the government house, and they put that on social media. And so it is a complicated matter. But what I'm saying to you is that unknown gunmen have been raveled in Imo State by the grace of God. I think it's because of attack on the house of God that has revealed this. So as it stands now, it is obvious that the people are under the directive of the government of Imo State. led by Governor Hope, who has led these people. And how do I have this? I have had a similar experience. The same Shaba was the person who shot my son-in-law during that my arrest. And the boy's legs got scattered. It was the US for 4 months. The same Shaba, I saw him. And in my own case, during that time also, a young Hausa boy from the government house who came and met me towards the evening spoke to me in Hausa. I said, Rank Maza Capital Kashiga Mota. And he put back his hood or the mask after speaking to me, meaning, sir, Your Excellency, quickly move out of this place. They will kill you. So it is obvious that the squad of policemen in government house is used for killing purposes, or for committing an unholy act. So the unknown government in Imo State is gradually coming out. Because most of the time, IPOB will say they're not the one. And look at the way people are being killed. Look at the traditional that's being killed. Look at 140 people being killed that are in this thing. Every day there's killing. Every day people are beheaded. And to tell you that even the recent discovery of a camp in Osu, from the camp to governor's house is not more than 2 kilometers. And as chief security officer, he doesn't know what's happening in that place. He left a lot to be desired. So Imo might be gradually, an act of God might gradually save Imo State from what is happening. But it requires detailed investigation. And I pray that for the first time in this whole exercise happening, that the federal government of Nigeria, the police IG will make out time to tell the world the truth. And I have promised myself we're not going to stop on this move until it is unraveled in Imo State.
So speaking of investigation, Senator, you can land at that point so I can quickly put in... Did
you hear that? I hope you heard him clear. Did you hear Rocha Sokoracha very clear? You know that with it, for some week now, they have been parading some camp that they say they met. They are showing us some camp of kidnappers where they dug a hole, where they are throwing dead bodies, where they have cannibals who are eating human flesh. Do you know that that very camp they showed us that the conventional media is showing? The home of Hope Uzodinma is 2 kilometers. That place is 2 kilometers to the home of Hope Uzodinma, who is the chief security of Imo State. Unbelievable. The very camp that they are showing, go to the conventional media, you will see them. You see channel television where they showed a camp where they went to retrieve human body, dead bodies. A camp where they showed a hole where people were being dumped into. That very camp they showed you, where they were telling us that the kidnappers occupied a whole village. That very camp is 2 kilometers to the home of the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma. The chief security of Imo State, 2 kilometers to his home. Unbelievable. And you want to tell me that he doesn't know what is going on there? A chief security officer, for how many years? Such kind of evil is being perpetrated very close to his house, just like in his backyard. And he's not aware of it. Unbelievable. Is it now making sense for you? Is it now making more sense that the unknown gunman is nobody, no one else but the government of Nigeria? The federal government of Nigeria, the police and the army, sponsored by the federal government, using Hope Uzodinma against his own people. They are the unknown gunmen who are killing innocent Biafrans who have not committed no offense. Killing innocent Biafrans that have committed no offense. Shedding blood everywhere. Share this video all platforms. Continue to share this video to all platforms. Let people hear. The unknown gunmen have been raveled. They have been unraveled. And the people, the person who is sponsoring the unknown government, their spokesperson, the person sponsoring them is the federal government through Hope Uzodinma. For a very long time, we have been shouting and speaking about this, that the unknown gunmen have nothing to do with ESN or IPOB. People think it's a lie. Some people call it propaganda. Some people say we are pretending. Today, a former governor is coming to make verification to confirm what we have been saying for a very long time. That the home of the governor is 2 kilometers to the home of the governor, sitting governor, the chief security of the state. 2 kilometers to his house is where they have a camp where human beings are being slaughtered, where people are being dumped in a hole, where cannibals are eating human beings. 2 kilometers to his home, and he doesn't know about it. And you want me to believe that? All of a sudden, he woke up to use that one to blackmail IPOB. All of a sudden, when he saw that the heat is on, he has woken up to use it to blackmail IPOB, to blackmail his political partners, to use to blackmail. That is why Chukwu Okeke is so wonderful. Chukwu Okeke is so wonderful that he will continue to disgrace them and expose them. When they are fighting their wars, they want to use it to blackmail IPOB. They are shopping for evidence against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to prosecute him. And Chukwu Okeke is punching them by their belly. You see how Chukwu Okeke is punching them. That is why I cry. That is why sometimes I cry when I see people who are supposed to take the mantle from Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and continue the fight. People who are supposed to be fighting along with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, whom has Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have left behind. The leadership of IPOB, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have left the leadership of their hand to pursue the freedom of Biafra and the freedom of him himself. They are not doing anything. Instead, they are busy gossiping. They are busy blackmailing our own people. They are busy joining these same politicians, these same evil politicians that are killing our own people. They are busy joining these same evil politicians that are killing our people. These same evil politicians who are being exposed today, they are the same people that the leadership for IPOB is dining with, dancing with, believing on their promises, joining them to blackmail fellow Biafrans, joining them to fight against fellow Biafrans. It's a shame. It is a very big shame. Today you can see how they are being exposed. The evil these people are doing. I am going to play the video once again for you. Listen carefully and watch it closely. Word by word, what Rocha Sokorocha is revealing. The very video you are seeing that is going viral about the kidnappers in Imo State, the people who are eating human beings in Imo State, the monsters in Imo State, the grave that they saw where they are dumping human beings in Imo State, that very place is 2 kilometers to the home of the chief security of Imo State, Governor Hope Uzodinma, 2 kilometers to his own home. Hear it once again from Rocha Sokorocha himself, a former governor, making this revelation. Hear it and see it clear.
Or who are the people that actually conducted this arrest. But all that we have found out later from submissions and from the people that came were people from the government house, accompanied by a military vehicle that is also always in the convoy of the governor. It's a popular military vehicle that's always in the convoy of the governor. That's the one that accompanied these people. And when they took Uche, at the government round the half, these vehicles went back to the government house and left him with the black Jeep, either it is Ford or Q7, I don't know what it is, that took him straight to Enugu alone with 4 policemen inside. And you could see why they were inside. They undressed, they removed the many torn part of his clothes, took picture of him inside the car and sent back to the government house, and they put that on social media. And so it is a complicated matter. But what I'm saying to you is that unknown gunmen have unraveled the name of state by the grace of God. I think it's because of attack on the house of God that has revealed this. So as it stands now, it is obvious that the people are under the directive of the government of Imo State, led by Governor Hope Uzodinma, who has led these people. And how do I have this? I have had a similar experience. The same Shaba was the person who shot my son-in-law during that my arrest. And the boy's legs got scattered. It was the U.S. performance. The same Shaba, I saw him. And in my own case, during that time also, a young Hausa boy from the government house who came and met me towards the evening spoke to me in Hausa. I said, Maza capital Kashiga Mota. And he put back his hood or the mask after speaking to me, meaning, sir, Your Excellency, quickly move out of this place. They will kill you. So it is obvious that the squad of policemen in government house is used for killing purposes, for committing an unholy act. So the unknown government in Imo State is gradually coming out. Because most of the time, IPOB will say they're not the one. And look at the way people are being killed. Look at the traditional blacks being killed. Look at 104 people being killed that are in this thing. Every day there's killing. Every day people are beheaded. And to tell you that even the recent discovery of a camp in Osu, from the camp to governor's house is not more than 2 kilometers. And as chief security officer, he doesn't know what's happening in that place. He left a lot to be desired. So Imo might be gradually, an act of God might gradually save Imo State from what is happening. But it requires detailed investigation. And I pray that for the first time, in this whole exercise happening, that the federal government of Nigeria, the police IG, will make out time to tell the world the truth. And I have promised myself we're not going to stop on this move until it is unraveled in Imo State.
So speaking of investigation, Senator, you can land at that point, so I can quickly put in a couple of questions really to be answered, but if you could just make that point in 10 seconds, so I can put in my question.
No, the point I'm making is that the governor also, ironically, has announced since last week that he's going to let the world know the people behind the IPOB or no government in Imo State. He gave the date of 3rd. So the world must wait and hear this governor make a broadcast. Since he assumed the responsibility of the IG to announce to the people who are this unknown government. So we cannot, the truth is gradually coming out. Because from there we'll know who killed Gulag. Gulag's story will come out.
Okay, so let's talk about the investigation.
It will come out.
So if we can talk about that investigation, because in the interview that Mr. Nwosu granted, he referenced that he was told that a petition was written against him, and he was said alleged to have been selling guns to militants. And I just want to ask you, to what extent can you vouch for Mr. Nwosu in this matter?
It's a question of Mr. Nwosu is as innocent as you.
You see, it is very, very clear now that we know who the unknown gunmen are. We now know whom the unknown gunmen are. You see, most of the time, when we come to make a revelation of things that are happening in Nigeria, simply because we are talking on social media, people don't believe what we are saying. Some think we are just blabbing. Some think it's a propaganda. Some think we are just lying. But let me tell you, many of us who are broadcasting on social media are speaking the truth and nothing but the truth. It is only in social media that you will see people who say it the way it is without being politically correct. You see, even when this idiot is making the revelation, when Rocha Sokorocha is making that revelation, he is still hiding some facts. For Rocha Sokorocha to tell you that IG is not aware, Inspector General of Police is not aware, that is just a blatant lie. How can he be aware? Somebody was kidnapped and sent with a private jet to Abuja, and you say the IG is not aware. Somebody was kidnapped in Imo State, and the Commissioner of Police in Imo State covered it up. You said they are not aware. This is a script that they are playing. The Janjaweed script. The federal government of Nigeria is a terrorist government, and they are doing it in all, and even locally. Even locally, terrorists are in charge of the Nigerian government as I speak now. They are doing everything possible to oppress the people, to kill as many people as they can. Look at the revelation. You have seen the revelation made very clear. And each time they perpetrate this evil, they will begin to use the name of IPOB, ESN, or Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to push forward the agenda. Because each time they parade that very name, people will tend to buy into it. Each time they parade that name, the federal government comes to their aid. Each time they speak of those names, the federal government will just come out, and now they will begin to frame people up. It is easy to convince people when they are talking about IPOB, when they are talking about Biafra, when they are talking about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is why they are using that propaganda on daily basis. You can see it now. Now, Hope Uzodinma is saying that he is going to announce those who are sponsoring the unknown gunmen by December. He's going to make a broadcast on January. He's January broadcast that he's going to announce the sponsors of the terrorists in terrorism in Imo State, the sponsors of the IPOB and the ESN in Imo State. You and I know that ESN has nothing to do with anybody. The people who are sponsoring ESN is you and I. You and myself, you that is watching me, every single Biafran that is watching this video, every single Biafran that is sharing this video, we are the ones sponsoring the ESN and nobody. No single person is sponsoring ESN. You and I are the ones sponsoring ESN. You that is watching this video, wherever you are watching from across the world, you that is sharing this video, wherever you are sharing from, we are the ones sponsoring the ESN. ESN has nothing to do with Uche Wosu. ESN has nothing to do with Rocha Sokorocha. ESN has nothing to do with Hope Uzodinma. We are standing on our own. This is the ordinary people standing to ask for their own freedom. This is a self-defense organization that was formed by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu established the security outfits to defend the ordinary people, and the ordinary people are funded it by themselves. This has been the routine. It has been how it has been going. But you see them, each time they perpetrate an evil, they want to begin to rub it onto Yes, sir. Rob it onto Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, rob it onto Biafrans. But today, Chukwu Okike Abiama with his infinite mercy have disgraced them. You see Rochas Okorocha speaking and naming them one by one the evil they are perpetrating. Naming them and calling them by the name. He went further. He went further to mention some of the evil that Hope Uzodinma have committed, even before he came to power. To tell you that they know themselves. These people are a bunch of evil men. Nigeria will never support anything that is good. Nigeria. This is why you have to ask for a breakup of the contract across Nigeria. You have to begin to ask for a breakup. Any single sane person, if you are sane, it doesn't matter your religion, it doesn't matter your tribe, it doesn't matter your location. You have to begin to ask for the breakup of these contractions to save life and to save properties. For you to save the life of the indigenous people in that contraction, you have to ask for a breakup. When you break it up, you will break the interest. You break the interest, you break the demon and you scatter them and they will lose relevance. When you break it up, each people will go and handle their own demons. These demons cannot connect to each other again. When you break it up, they will lose their balance and lose their strength. When you break it up, when we in the Biafra land are dealing with our own monster, he will not see anywhere to run to. He will not see any Abuja to save him. When the Oduduwa people are dealing with their own monster, they will not see any Abuja to save them. They will not see any Abuja to run to. When the Middle Beltans are dealing with their own evil, they will not see any Abuja to save them. They will not see any Abuja to reinforce for them. Even in the northern part of Nigeria, when they decide to deal with the terrorists that is now besieging them, nobody is going to stand against them. No Abuja will make any cover up. They will not look at any face. When Northerners will rise up to fight against the terrorists, they will not be looking at the South and say the South are not supported and the South are doing this. They will not be focusing on other people. They will focus on their region. This is why you have to break it up. When you break it up, people will focus on their problem and deal with it squarely. And let me tell you, as soon as you break Nigeria up, 99.9% of the problem you are seeing today, you will see it no more. If you disintegrate Nigeria, 99% of the problem you are seeing today, you will see it no more. It will automatically disappear. I am not telling you there will be no problem. There will be problem. Every country have their problem. United States have their problem. UK have their problem. Every other country have it. Even families have their own problem. Those are the kind of issues you'll be seeing in the new nation that we arise when Nigeria is broken up. It must be broken up into pieces because the people they are putting in power, even as they are preparing for their 2022-23 election, they are already preparing another set of evil men, another set of corrupt people. This Fulani Janjaweed, this caliphate are preparing another set of people to run the caliphate, to run the agenda of the caliphate, to make sure they continue to subjugate you, continue to steal your land, continue to steal your resources, continue to impoverish you, continue to make sure that the insecurity continues. They are preparing another set of people to create more problem. That is what they are now doing as they are preparing for the 2023. This is the reason why you will not be part of it. Ask for a disintegration. That is the only way you can be safe. It has not all ended. Let us go further. You will see more revelation where Rochas Okorocha went further to tell us about some evil that this man have perpetrated in the past. They know it yet. They put him as a governor in Imo State. Let us watch.
When you were governor and you have alleged that you think that this order actually came from the government house, from the governor of Imo State. And this would be an order, as it were, to the police. And time and again, we've heard governors say they can't even give orders to police. So is this something that can happen? A governor giving orders to the police to carry out? Is that something you did during your time, such that you know it can be replicated now?
There's what is called abuse of power. This is why abuse of power, absolute abuse of power is what's happening in Imo State. Those police is only to protect the governor and nothing else, and cannot be used to discharge any other function of the police by law. And secondly, the fact that still don't know what the governor tells the presidency and those he has as agents in federal government that makes them release army to him, Air Force to him, Navy to him. This is the only governor in Nigeria who carries Army, Air Force, Navy in his convoy, who lives in armored personnel car, who lives in billion van all the days of his administration and doesn't even come out. This governor cannot come out to the street and walk around the street. I assure you cannot move out. So I don't know, but I think within my conviction that this governor goes ahead to tell president in the presidency who are open, who have such open mind of listening to every gossip. And tell them, listen to me, let me tell you, the whole Igbos are against President Muhammad Buhari. The whole Igbos are against the Northerners. I'm the only good man. So listen, I will fight them on your behalf. So he set enmity between Igbo people and Abuja and federal government of Nigeria. And they believe him. But the question they ask, when I formed APC and I became the governor, why were not such enmity between Igbos or Imo people and the Federal Republic of Nigeria? He said,
you see why these people are evil. This is why I hate politicians. Nigerian politicians mainly. I hate Nigerian politicians with passion. You see that this idiot have converted this thing now to a campaign. This idiot called Rocha to Korocha is now diverting this into campaign. He is now changing it to campaign. When we know very well that the problem we have is to change away. Muhammad Buhari, of all people we know, hates the Igbos. He hates the Igbo Biafrans. Hates Biafrans with passion. Muhammad Buhari hates Biafrans with passion, mainly the Igbo Biafrans. That is the obvious truth. That is the plain truth. And he has found a partner in Hope Uzodinma, using Hope Uzodinma to destroy the lives and properties in Igbo land. In Biafra land, mainly in Igbo section. This man who is called Rocha Okorocha knows very well that Muhammad Buhari is the hater. The late Muhammad Buhari, whom the imposter in Asrock is playing his script. This man, Rocha Okorocha, knows that he hates Biafra with passion. Yet, look at what he's saying. He is now trying to be politically correct. As a politician, trying to use this thing that is happening now as a campaign for his own self. Now telling us how good he has formed an evil entity called APC in Imo State. Telling us how good they were then and how evil they are now. This is how evil these politicians are. Evil people who are not truthful. You see why I said anybody that is believing on their political solution is wasting his or her own time. If you are sane with your brain, you cannot wait and believe on their political solution. You have to begin to do something now to make sure that that political solution that they promise you has to work. We are not saying that they should stop. We are not saying, talking against them or saying that they should stop. Whatever political solution that will take effect, if it must happen, it is because of what you will do, what I will do, our civil disobedience. Sitting at home on Sunday and on Monday, that very sit at home, we have to intensify it. Civil disobedience I have never been seen before. That is the only thing that will change the narrative and make these people do something, make that very political solution to work for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be free.